Let's go to the second part of Law's novel, complete and narrated right after the intro. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Before we dive into the content of this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. That way you won't miss anything. And now let's get to the video. Law is fighting Chalik, and he was doing well in the fight, but suddenly Law's sword broke. Seeing this as an opportunity, Chalik gathered the last of his strength and launched a series of attacks. The second strike hit Law's head. The difference between a direct hit and a near miss was minimal. The axe grazed Law's temple, but he twisted his body with all his might to avoid a direct blow. With the same momentum, he closed the distance to Chalik and pressed the thumb of his left hand against him. Up close. Counter shock! A loud thud was heard, followed by the sound of a massive body hitting the ground. This time, the captain of the Chalik pirates had fallen, but at that moment, the ship shook violently. A massive wave approached, nearly capsizing the ship. Fatigued from the battle, Law's legs could no longer support him, and the tremor sent him flying. He was thrown into the sea. He tried to scream for help, but no sound came out. 3 crew members saw him and ran to help, but it was too late. They were too far away. This was dire. With no time to stay calm, Law frantically flailed his arms and legs, but all his strength was drained from his body, and he sank mercilessly. A deadly side effect of the devil fruits, the inability to enter the sea, is a great risk for pirates. Just losing balance, as he had now, could lead to death. "Don't be ridiculous," Law shouted in his heart. "I won't give up. I can't give up. I haven't achieved anything yet. I don't want to die like this." He struggled, fought, and prayed desperately. Then he heard the sound of someone jumping. A shadow approached him, and then the moment the shadow enveloped him, he lost consciousness. Law's vision was blurry. The white ceiling spun above him. He tried to move his fingers, but couldn't gather any strength. The only thing he knew for sure now was that despite bracing himself for death, he was still alive. "Captain! Hey guys, the captain's awake!" "Really? Thank God." Beepo, Penguin, and Shachi, their faces streaked with tears and snot, jumped on top of Law, who was lying on the floor. "You guys are heavy," said Law. Beepo showed no signs of stopping his crying. "Because what would I do if the captain hadn't woken up?" Law patted Beepo on the back, and the bear finally calmed down. "No worries. I've always said, haven't I won't die. I'll survive until I reach my goal." What happened to the Chalik pirates? Penguin and Shachi proudly recounted their achievements. "We tied them all up nice and tight, and they had a lot of treasure, so we took it all." "Oh, hey, you! Come here. The captain's awake." Seconds after Beepo shouted, a timid-looking boy stepped into the medical room. He had spiky brown hair, a slim build, and a white mask with a painted smile. Law asked, "Who is he?" Penguin patted the boy on the shoulder and said, "Hey, kid, don't be scared. Just tell him your name." My name is Hakugan," the boy stammered nervously. "Was it you who rescued me when I fell into the sea?" Law asked, and the boy nodded hesitantly. Law then expressed his gratitude. "Look, I don't know the details, but thank you. You saved me." Still shy, the boy replied, "I didn't do anything that big." Law responded, "I can't swim. If you hadn't spotted me, I'd probably be shark bait at the bottom of the ocean by now." The boy said, "Swimming is the only thing I'm good at. I'm glad I could help." Law then asked, "By the way, where did you jump from? Were you fishing on a nearby boat?" Penguin explained, "Well, about that, Captain. He was actually kidnapped and taken aboard the Chalik pirates' ship." Apparently, the Chalik pirates were a group that traveled from island to island, town to town, making money by abducting people and selling them. The largest ship Law had encountered had about 10 people on board who were to be sold. Among them, only the masked boy managed to cut through the ropes with a hidden knife and escape. While observing the chaos on the ship, he saw Law fall into the sea and jumped in to save him. A glimpse of Welbem's Island. Welbem's Island has a mild climate, with long springs and summers, making it one of the most comfortable places to live in the North Blue, or at least it was, before its dark turn. News broke about 2 years ago. A group called the Nagel's Pirates landed on the island's northern coast. With overwhelming numbers and military power, they seized control of the northeastern region in less than 3 months, proclaiming it their kingdom under the Nagels name. Of course, they act nothing like a government. After all, they're just pirates. As king, Nagels decreed that all citizens over 6 years old must work 12-hour days, regardless of age or gender. Even for healthy young individuals, being forced to work without rest days is mentally and physically grueling. But the true victims are the weakest. Children made to do hard labor before their bodies have matured, the elderly forced into underwater exploration despite being sick, and women sent back to work the day after giving birth. Nagels profits from exporting minerals and abundant crops, which are collected as taxes and sold to other islands and nations. None of these resources ever reach the people. Articles frequently describe the North as a place where hunger and lack of medical care are constant issues. However, there's a silver lining. The southern region remains unconquered. The people there, led by Hakuro village, have resisted multiple invasion attempts. Thanks to skilled swordsmen and warriors, they've managed to fend off the pirates so far. But this balance is tenuous. The Nagels pirates have far more potential recruits than the southern defenders. As time goes on, the South may face greater disadvantages in this war of attrition. Law thought about this, wondering if the boy before him had already imagined such a tragic future, one where he might lose countless family members and friends. Back on the polar tang, Law said, "Hey, you don't need to be so scared. You can talk to me normally." The boy, still trembling, replied, I'm sorry. I mean, my apologies." Law reassured him, "It's fine. So, do you have a family?" The boy answered, "Both my parents passed away 2 years ago." Law asked gently, "Was it because of the pirates in the north?" The boy remained silent, looking down. Interpreting the silence as confirmation, Law didn't press further about his parents. Instead, he asked, "Do you still have any family?" The boy nodded and said, "I have a little sister." This caught Law's interest. "A little sister, huh?" The boy's face lit up. "She's so cute. She just started learning to read recently. I'm kind of an idiot, but she's really smart. She loves reading comic books and pirate adventure stories from our parents' office." Law smiled faintly. "That's nice to hear." Even with the mask on, it was easy to imagine the boy's eyes shining with joy. Hearing the phrase "little sister" brought back memories for Law. Whenever he spoke of Lami, he also used the phrase, "my proud little sister." Law then said, "Bepo, you heard the story. Let's head straight to Welbem's Island. I need you to adjust the course." Aye, aye. Hakugan, aren't you happy? After all, we're the Heart Pirates, the strongest in the North Blue. You'll get back to the island safely. Penguin, Shachi, are you okay with this? They both agreed enthusiastically. Law continued, "What about the hostages? How are they?" Penguin replied, "It's a bit cramped, but I've got them all in the storage area. I thought it wouldn't be good to have them walking around the submarine." Law ordered, "Okay, give them water and food, including oranges and lemons. If anyone seems unwell, let me know immediately. We'll set a direct course for Welbem's Island from here." "Leave it to us," came the reliable response. Hakugan looked happy, bouncing slightly. Thank you, you're actually a nice guy." Irritated, Law said, "What a kid. Don't call a pirate a nice guy. It's just a fair exchange." "Fair exchange?" asked the boy. Law explained, "Exactly. I repay what I borrow and return what I owe. You saved my life, and I'm grateful for that." Law removed his hat and bowed deeply to the boy. "First, I need to get you all to safety, otherwise my crew and I would lose our dignity. So, just let me help you, understood?" The boy stammered, "Yes?" "Good. Now go. We've got work to do. If you need anything, just call one of the crew." "Understood. Thank you," the boy said. Law corrected him. "I told you, don't thank me. Support should come from me." "Well, never mind." The boy hurried out of the medical bay, leaving the 4 members of the Heart Pirates behind. Usually, they would have a discussion after a tough battle or before heading to a new destination. "Guys, can you leave me alone for a bit?" Law asked. "What's wrong, Captain? Are you hurt somewhere?" Bepo asked with concern. "It's not that. I'm just exhausted." "Okay then, we'll leave some fried rice and water here. Make sure you eat later," Shachi said. Law gave instructions. "Bepo, take the helm. We can dive, but watch out for sea kings. Shachi and Penguin, support him with the radar and sonar. We'll be in the helm room. Call us if you need anything, Captain." "I'm not a child, so don't worry so much," Law replied as he walked away. He headed to his quarters, where he caught his reflection in the mirror. His body was covered in blood, and he hesitated before collapsing onto the bed. He grabbed clean clothes, took a shower to wash off the blood, and noticed his swollen arms from blocking Chalik's battle axe. More than the physical pain, the broken sword, Kosho, weighed heavily on his mind. It had been his trusted companion, a skilled grade blade, sharp enough to cut through minerals that most swordsmen couldn't. Yet, it had broken. "Damn it!" he muttered, punching the wall in frustration. 3 days later, the polar tang safely arrived at Welbam's Island. Under the warm sun and refreshing sea breeze, they headed toward Hakuro village. So this concludes part 2, giving us more insight into how the Heart Pirates maintain their sense of fairness and justice. But what awaits them on Welbam's Island? Stay tuned for the next chapter of the novel. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.